Welcome back to Living 757. Ashley, do you remember that a couple years ago I have my motorcycle license?
Yes, I do. I was terrified the whole time.
Why you say that?
Because I have anxiety. I was worried for you and Quincy.
I mean, I did pretty good.
I know.
I was driving a better motorcycle than Quincy. I remember that.
I remember they put him on the little kid bike.
Yes. And, you know, summer is right around the corner. And it's a lot of misconceptions and things that people, you know, said about motorcycles when we had to drive motorcycles.
Right.
Luckily for us today, we have the expert. So we're going to welcome now from Huffman and Huffman Brothers in Law, David. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you? Glad to be here.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Now, in Quincy's honor, you got to show the socks.
Yes.
You got to show the socks.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
And you're the winner.
And I match. See?
I
You
know.
didn't even notice.
I know. We do match.
That's right.
You have them on your socks too.
Yeah. But
I love it.
we just match without even thinking about it. But so, David, summer is right around the corner, and motorcycle, we're going to see more of them this summer, right?
Sure.
So what is the tip for the motorcycles? Just starting right there.
For the motorcyclists themselves?
To be safe.
Yeah, obviously, just be much more vigilant and be careful and pay attention.
Right.
Because a lot of times the drivers don't see you. And obviously, you know, there's, like you said, there's more motorcyclists
Yep.
around, there's a lot more vehicles, a lot more tourists in town. So,
Yep.
you know, it gets a lot busier, as you know, here, especially, you know, towards the ocean front, things like that.
Right.
Yes.
Now, you are not a stranger on this show. You know that we turn almost anything into something funny or a game.
Absolutely.
So we're going to play a little myth or fact. We'll
Okay.
read the questions, we'll try to guess the answer, and then you tell us if we're right or wrong and why.
Okay,
All right?
will do.
Okay.
Ready. Let's roll with the first one.
Most motorcycle accidents happen because riders are reckless or were speeding.
Fact.
What do you think?
True?
Well, it can be true,
Okay.
but not always. I mean, it's true. Obviously, there can be motorcycle riders that are, you know, that are reckless or going fast, and you know, we see that a lot of times. But that's not probably the most common accident. Most motorcycle accidents involve vehicles.
Oh, wow.
And the most common ones are usually where a vehicle is turning left and they don't see a motorcycle coming, or they're changing lanes. And so, you know, obviously speed can contribute to that, and the motorcycle rider can contribite to that, but
Right.
more often than not, it involves a vehicle.
So we have to be very
Tisk,
careful.
tisk, vehicles.
Yes. Number two, if I can see a motorcycle, the rider can definitely see me. Is that
Well, what do you think?
False.
False?
That would be false.
Okay.
I mean, obviously the driver may see you, but you got to think a motorcycle is much smaller than a vehicle. And
Right.
vehicles often have blind spots. Well, there can be other things that create blind spots as well. Things on the roadway, other vehicles, weather conditions. And just because you can see a motorcyclist doesn't mean they can see you, again,
Yeah.
depending on which direction they're coming from. So, not always true.
That one is tough.
Okay.
Next.
Next question. Helmets prevent all serious motorcycle injuries. That's false. That's got to be
false.
false.
That is false. Although they can really prevent some serious head injuries and even sometimes fatalities. Again, you got to remember that just protects one area of the body, right?
Yeah.
If you have an accident, you still have a whole rest of your body that can be injured
I know.
severely. So they're definitely helpful. I always wore motorcycle helmets. I know there's areas that don't necessarily require them, but they're definitely one piece of safety equipment, but not the only piece of safety
Yeah.
equipment.
Wow. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's so dangerous because it's like your body is your protection, basically.
That's right.
I
yeah.
mean,
See?
yes,
That's why I had the
know.
anxiety.
You're not enclosed in a nice metallic vehicle.
Yes.
Okay,
Next.
drivers should leave extra following distance when behind a motorcycle.
True.
Probably true, yeah?
It is true. So again, a motorcycle is much smaller, a lot lighter. They have to, a lot of times, react to obstacles that maybe a vehicle does not. For example, they see a smaller pothole or they see an oil slick. They're going to have to react to that and react to it a lot of times very quickly. A motorcycle can typically stop a lot faster than a car or
Yeah.
a truck. And so if you're not giving them distance and they have to stop or an evasive maneuver, you could end
Yeah,
up
they
having a
need
very
some
bad
space.
accident. Yeah.
Yep. Now that you mentioned that, I was thinking when I'm driving sometimes on the highway, I see that they all have their own signals too. because motorcycles just use their hands a lot, especially when they're like a group of motorcycles, a group of people. So is that just for them, or is to let us know, the drivers? Because I don't recognize those signals sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you remember back to basic driver tests, we
Yeah,
used to have to learn the hand signals.
Like
and
I'm
it
gonna
was
turn
usually
left.
We did too.
more in the context of cyclists, bicyclists, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But unfortunately, there are a lot of motorcycles that do not have turn signals on them, okay? So a lot of times they do have to give signals to let the driver know. Some motorcyclists, even if they have the signals, will still give kind of a signal just to make the driver aware.
Yeah. Wow. So many things that we need to be, keep in mind when we're driving motorcycles, especially the young generations, that they think it's just the speed. No. Have to be safe. You have to wear protection.
Right.
Yep.
And you have to be extra careful.
Yes.
Now,
Absolutely.
if a motorcyclist gets into an accident, who do they call and where can they find you?
Well, first of all, first and foremost, they've got to make sure they're safe, right? Because they're not in a protected vehicle often. So they've got to do that, make sure they survey the scene. If they can, document the scene of the accident, because sometimes there's bias against motorcyclists. Insurance companies like to throw out what's called contributory negligence and trying to contribute some fault, maybe through bias, on the motorcyclist. Most importantly, if they've done all that, the next thing is to get legal advice.
Legal advice.
They can certainly call our firm, Huffman Huffman. Again, we have experience in dealing with motorcycle accidents, motorcycle riders, and so we're glad to help them.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, David, because
Yes.
time is running on this show today.